Welcome to the Contemporary Comrades podcast. It's your boy Heavy J, and as you can see, I have quite the interesting story for you all today. So, proposed House rule seeks to erase gender terms such as father, mother, son, and daughter from government terminology. This is kind of big. I haven't heard too much talk about this, but this is interesting. So basically, leaders in the House of Representatives announced on Friday that a rules package for the 117th Congress will include a proposal to use gender-inclusive language and eliminate gender terms such as father, mother, son, daughter, and more. So, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, we just talked about her the other day, had her house vandalized. And Rules Committee Chairman James McGovern announced on Friday that the rules package includes changes that would, quote, honor all gender identities by changing pronouns and familial relationships in the House rules to be gender neutral. A separate announcement from McGovern said that the Democratic rules package will also make changes to pronouns and familial relationships in the House rules to be gender neutral or removes references to gender as appropriate to ensure we are inclusive of all members, delegates, resident commissioners, and their families, including those who are non-binary. That'd be this guy. So some of the terms to be struck from Clause 8, Code 3 of Rule 13 on the House's Code of Official Conduct, as outlined in the proposed rules PDF, which is right here if you want to look at it. The words include father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, first cousin, nephew, niece, husband, wife, father-in-law, mother-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, pretty much all the freaking in-laws, stepfather, stepmother, stepson, and all the steps, etc., grandson, etc., granddaughter. So, such terms will be replaced with parent, child, sibling, parent's sibling, first cousin, sibling's child. What in the hell? Spouse, parent-in-law, child-in-law, sibling-in-law, step-parent, stepchild, step-sibling, half-sibling, and grandchild. According to the proposed rules, also seamen, like a man at sea, would be replaced with seafarers, and chairman would be replaced with chair in Rule X of the House. So this is ridiculous. So Pelosi and McGovern said that the overall package includes sweeping ethics reforms, increases accountability for the American people, and also makes this House of Reps the most inclusive in history. Okay. And also, the rules package includes removing floor privileges from former Congress members who have been convicted of crimes related to their House service or election. Wow. So that's an interesting piece to come out of this. So some Congress members will not be able to step on the floor if they've been, quote unquote, convicted of crimes related to their House service or election. So let's look and see what comes out of this election and what kind of lawsuits and convictions and everything that comes from that, because that could affect these people here. And it says it would also make it a violation of the Code of Official Conduct for a member, officer, or employee of the House to disclose the identity of a whistleblower. Man. So basically, this rules package will be introduced and voted on once the new Congress reconvenes. I think that'd be the 4th or 4th or the 6th of January. I can't remember when Congress reconvenes. Right now, they're still in their break or whatever. So man, so this is where we've come. This is how, quote unquote, far we have come. We're replacing brother, sister, uncle, aunt, cousin, nephew with sibling, parent, child, parents, sibling, first cousin, siblings, child. Is that not more confusing than just calling somebody a fucking nephew or niece or a cousin? So in an effort to include more people, we are then further blurring the lines of what it means to be from what you should properly call somebody, right? A parent's sibling. You got to think, a parent's sibling, that could be multiple things. That could be a cousin, whatever the case is. It's ridiculous. This to me, in the name of quote unquote inclusion and diversity and all this other crap, man, this isn't the way. I'm sorry, this isn't the way to do it. So what this essentially does is this gets rid of true gender lines in government, or at least in the code of conduct for the House of Representatives of the United States government. This is kind of as masculine and feminine, which is also a natural principle and a principle of creation, but we can get into that at a later date. So we're replacing, principles of nature and principles of existence with principles of ambiguity and principles of, I'm not going to offend. I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but the principles of ridiculousness. Frankly, I mean, look. Fact of the matter is, no matter what you call, a mother or father or son. Correct me if I'm wrong on this too. Don't the people who would typically get offended by this refer to themselves as the mothers of their child or the fathers of their child if it's two identifiable women and two identifiable men? Don't they use the same terms? But if it's just more than one of them. So if you identify as I don't even know. I can't even put myself in the headspace of somebody who would identify as something other than a man or a woman. Honestly, so this to me is this is a kind of a tough one to kind of commentate on without stepping over certain boundaries that certain platforms that I may or may not be recording this on don't like. So I'm gonna be a little bit, toned down when I go over this article. But man, let me know your thoughts on this, because they're going to make it a violation of the code of official conduct if you don't refer to these people as parent, child, sibling, parent, sibling, first cousin, etc. Now, are we ever going to get to a point where being called a child is derogatory? Like, what if you don't want to be identified as a child? And then what? Or what if you don't want to be identified as a parent? You'd rather be identified as something much greater. You know what I mean? Like, where do we draw the line with including what seems to be a small subsect of the United States, a small percentage of the United States? They get massive changes, like changing how terms are used in Congress, or basically the House of Representatives official code of conduct. So this small group of people can get this huge sweeping broad change in legislature, but this slightly bigger but still small group of people who are supposedly who have been racially oppressed for how many ever hundreds of years can't get a simple law passed. And no, the 13th and 14th Amendment did not really apply, because all that is a limitation on what government can do. That does not stop any private citizen from saying or doing or discriminating against anybody for whatever reason they want. And this is again more of the same of that. This is nothing more than, hey, here's your, then you know how you have a little kid and you're at the amusement park or whatever, and they're crying because they see the really big lollipop and they want it, but as a parent you don't want to give it to them because you don't want them to have the sugar or whatever, and then somebody comes along, oh, why are they crying? Here's this lollipop, sweet little child. This will stop you from crying. This is that lollipop right here. This right here is that lollipop, and what that lollipop does is that satiates the child, but then it pisses the parent off. So you've got people who are satiated with this type of legislature, but then you've got a lot more people, arguably the more important person in the scenario, to be pissed off because now their rules don't fly anymore. Everything that they've known, everything that they've been teaching doesn't fly anymore. All because you gave the child that fucking lollipop. And this is that lollipop, in my opinion. I mean, just to analyze it a little bit, or whatever. How the hell you pronounce that? Dude, I don't know, man. This might be something that doesn't even pass, right? Because again, it's up for, as you can see down here, it says it's up for vote once the new Congress convenes. We'll see if it becomes law or not. I'm putting my money on the fact that it possibly will, especially depending on what happens after January the 6th. And if there is one-sided rule over the House, the Senate, and Congress, and the presidency, expect to see a lot more of stuff like this. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that's really all I got on this, man. Leave your thoughts down below. This is a very interesting topic. This could go either way. I see it potentially passing depending on the outcome of a few other things that are going to happen. So let me know your thoughts, man. It's been Heavy J. It's Contemporary Comrades. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe. We got more bangers coming like always. Stay tuned for some interviews. Stay tuned for more live streams with me and Corn. And we out, and I'm out. Peace.